What up, folks? I am Ultrazilla, and today I have a review of the Super 7 Ultimates Toho Ultimates 1200 degrees Celsius Godzilla 1995 from Godzilla vs. Destroyer. I call him Destroyer. That's it. We got a very, very gory box here. Super 7 went very gory with this thing. Very unique Godzilla. That's for sure. From the final scene of the movie. No, we never got something quite like this. It's, like I said, very gory, but kind of cool, kind of different. I think kind of needed from Super 7 to do something like this. Get a little buzz going. After those first couple of waves, this was a good route. It's different, and I think people appreciate different. So, it's pretty cool. I got mine at Big Bad Toy Store. For all the details of why I got it now and all of that, and why Big Bad Toy Store and all of that, please do check out my unboxing for further details. But without any further ado, let's get to the review. And here is Godzilla out of the package. Zombiezilla. What an interesting piece. This was a ballsy thing to do, and something that I feel like was super smart on Super 7's part. Now, I know this was planned for a bit, but talk about a game changer in the perception of what this company has done. Right from the outset when it was announced, it was just like, wow, that's cool, that's different, I definitely want it. But this is the type of thing that will, get a lot of more hardcore type fans aboard. And really change the perception of what the company was doing from that toyetic thing that was going on in the first wave, even the second wave. It's just, this is definitely going in a direction that I think more fans can get aboard on. You know what I'm saying? This is just you put some skeleton, you put some gore, and you got the recipe for things that fans will like and will, turn the other direction for you. It's cool. It's a cool piece. It's such an odd piece, right? Because what they're depicting here is that final scene of Godzilla in Godzilla vs. Destroyer, when he's starting to melt down. But because it's an articulated figure, it's just an odd thing. And to me, it's more like a Zombiezilla, something that would come out of Marvel Zombies type stories. Which is cool. You could do a lot with that, I think photographers could do a lot with it, and it's more than a one, trick pony in that regard. So it's different. It's like a fantasy piece almost. In that regard, rather than a movie accurate thing, which it is too. So it's like a double thing, and that's cool. I really, really dig that a lot. Obviously, most of the body is the Godzilla design we've seen. Most of it, from here on out, it's not, obviously, and then, this is a different foot from here down, and obviously it's a totally different arm, and chest is sculpted differently. So the dorsal fins are melting. There's a lot different here, and a lot that folks will appreciate. This leg, for the most part, though, is very much the same. You do have translucent plastic throughout, so there's that. But it's cool. I like the orange translucent plastic, and then you got the black paint over it, which looks fine enough. In some parts, it does look very uniform, but, for the most part, I think it's done pretty well. And that's in stark contrast to how I felt about, the Burning Godzilla, which I thought really turned out bad. The leg is mostly black. I would say this is, black and not charcoal gray, but it's cool because I think it works. Then the nails are done pretty much, you know, the way they've done the nails, and that looks fine enough. On the other side, though, first up, translucent up here. Again, you got some of the black streaks, you know, going down, which looks pretty cool. And then you get to the bottom here, which is the first different piece we'll look at. And the sculpt is pretty good, and you see some bones protruding there, which is pretty well done. And I like how they did the bones. It's kind of like that bone-like color with like some gray wash over it, and that looks pretty good. I like how it looks on these two toenails. That looks real nice. Let's zoom in there. Really, really good looking. I dig that. I think it works really well. The rest of the nails look pretty good. Rest of the foot looks pretty good. I do like it. And then we'll look at the tail. As you can see here, the dorsal fins look a little soft, but they look pretty good. The tail, you know, has, again, the black wash. It's kind of uniform going across here the way it's done. It's all right, you know. You got like the big streak on the bottom. And then you get to this middle piece, and I have to look at some of the older ones. I don't have it here handy, but it feels odd the way it's done. Maybe it's just turned around weird on mine. I'm guessing it goes like that. Let's just zoom back out a little bit so you can see a little better. And it gets like kind of thick over here. And then I don't know what the deal is with that, but it struck me as odd right out of the box when I did my unboxing. But I could just be not like thinking about how Godzilla's tail is shaped. And then you have this awesome, you know, tail, you know, all protruding out, like the skeleton as well here. It looks amazing. And I really like how these pieces look. Obviously, the whole thing is a translucent plastic and it's painted, but the paint is done really well to really, you know, drive home the point that it is skeletal, and it looks very, very good. So really, really nicely done. I do think, actually, now that I'm looking at it further, that the tail might be just painted, you know, the skeletal parts, and not like a completely different piece. We'll have to compare afterwards, but it looks pretty good either way. I really, really like it. It evokes what it's supposed to evoke, skeletal protrusions, and that's cool. Then you got the rest of the dorsal fins, and like you can see here, they're starting to melt down, you know, go downwards, which is cool. I really like how that looks. Is that the same as the Burning of Godzilla? I'm not 100% sure at this second, because, you know, we're looking at this one. And I didn't look at them prior, but we will look at them together shortly. But they look really good. You can see the black inside, which looks good. So I do like the dorsal fins a lot. The sides here look pretty good. And then these pieces here look like they're glued on, so that's different. So the way it's done is like this whole piece here is all glued. The skin kind of falling off and exposing his chest. And you see the interior, which is done in kind of like a lime green. And that's interesting. I like that a lot. So you see the bone, you know, the sternum and the ribs cage. And that's pretty cool. I do dig how that looks overall. That is really, really nicely done. Gory, but really, really good looking. And again, I do like all these like melting, charring pieces here. This arm looks pretty good, pretty much the same, except for translucent orange, and with the black wash looks good. And then you have a little bit of bone in here, and then you got a lot of the fingernails, the fingers all boned out, which looks really, really cool. I like that a lot. So very, very nice on that side. But then you got this whole thing going on. Total bone from the bicep on down. And that looks phenomenal. Honestly. Looks really good. I would be careful with it because it's very thin. But it's not like it doesn't feel fragile. But, you know, just be careful anyway. Looks good. The claw looks amazing. Again, that block wash is excellent. So I love this. It looks really good. You know, this is totally gone already from everything on down. Looks real good, man. That is superb. Very, very nicely done. And then we go upwards here. The neck. The neck feels a little skinny in my opinion, but I don't know. Something about it feels a little long, a little skinny. There is a piece missing here, which looks cool, but Real cool, actually. I like it. But definitely, one thing I noticed, just even from the pics, was I felt like the neck looked a little bit skinny. And then his mouth is closed. This one does not open, but that head sculpt is tremendous. Look at all of that work. Really, really good looking, crazy looking. I like how the teeth look, the nose, the sunken out eye. I like that his eye is yellow here. I cannot recall the movie at all, but the yellow works. It's creepy. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like that, but it doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't matter because it looks good. It is a good choice. I like the yellow a lot. It kind of reminds me of Mecha Godzilla in a way, and that is pretty cool. So really nice. I like how all this is like melting out. See the teeth on that side. On the bottom, it's just flat jaw, but everything else painted, and man, that looks tremendous. Really like it. You know, proportions end up looking a little odd because it's missing stuff, but it's still good. You know, like that tail is really, really long. I like it. I like the arm. I like everything about this. This is just an excellent, excellent piece. Good job, Super 7. So Godzilla comes with one accessory, and that is an alternate head where it is completely skeletal. Looks incredible, and it has an articulated jaw. So really, really good looking. Check this out. I love this. This is phenomenal. Like, it's even painted on the inside here. It doesn't need to be. Really, really well done. Look at that. I love that. I love seeing how that looks. Totally superb piece. I haven't tried to take this off yet. Don't know how. Oh, nice and easy. There you go. Okay. But getting it on, I don't know if I'm going to need some heat, but we'll try it. Freehand first. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I love this. Guys, I love it. I do. I think that looks really, really good. Wow, that looks cool. I think that looks cooler. I like this head. I think it's cool. I think it's gory. Again, I like the yellow. It's really nice, but something about this is just evil. And yeah, this is cool, man. Maybe this is what Ghost Godzilla looks like. You know what I'm saying? Ghost Godzilla. Remember that concept? Ah, that is so, so cool, guys. Really, really dig that. I'm gonna say I like this better. That might be my way to display it. It just looks so, so awesome. For articulation on this guy, the jaw moves as you saw, then the head moves nicely on that ball joint, and then it's got a neck joint there, and then this joint down here, so kind of like a two neck joint. Now the shoulders are kind of tight on mine. I'm getting a little detense on them, but it feels pretty tight. Probably needs some heat. I haven't had really any problems with that in the past, so I'm not gonna disqualify that from being a big issue. Not gonna qualify that as being a big issue. Then you have the bicep swivel, and then the elbow bend. And then you have the hinge at the wrist. Now on this arm, you do have, the shoulder there, and then that moves. It's different, so, I figured I'd show you this side. And all that moves fine. Then the waist moves decently. I mean, it is what it is. And then the legs, big, giant hips. They're not going to give you a ton of range of motion. The knees, kind of like the shoulders. Yeah, you get some motion, you get some detense out of them, but, And then the ankles probably has about the same thing going on. I'm not going to go too crazy, especially with, the translucent plastic. Then the foot moves like so. Heat will be my friend soon. Then this, with the tail, you do have to push it in all the way, if you didn't know. Now you do. And then it's got a pretty good range of motion with a lot of joints. So, I'm not going to go through all, but look, you could do all kinds of tail awesomeness with it. So, it's pretty much like the rest of the Super 7s, and that's fine. That's fine for Godzilla, in my opinion. For your size comparisons, first up here is the other figure in the wave, and that is a Destroyer, and that's the first time you're seeing this guy out of the package in my videos. So yeah, that's a big dude, and we're gonna get to him very shortly. And here it is with the Burning Godzilla and the first Godzilla, and you know, just he's missing some pieces. They're on the shelf, but just to look at the dorsal fins, they are different. You can start seeing a little bit of a slope on this one, and this one is different because it was a different Godzilla. So just to note, I forgot about that completely. This is the 89, and you know, this is more closer to this, but yeah, so they are sort of different. The other thing I wanted to look at is the kind of weird bulbous tail thing, and this one doesn't have it. So I don't know what is the deal with this piece here, what it's supposed to represent. Like, just it's getting mangled or something. I really don't know. That's an odd one to me, because everything else is kind of smooth. So, you know, it would be like this one. This kind of doesn't look like that. Like, it's this piece here. Unless it's just totally... Yeah, I guess it's that piece, but maybe the dorsals are a little mangled. I don't know. It just strikes me as odd, that particular one, but it is what it is. There you go. Here's, you know, some Godzillas for you. And my final thoughts, this is my favorite Super 7 figure that they've done so far. This is great. I mean, I don't know how it stacks up to Destroyer just quite yet, but so far, of the ones I've reviewed, this is my favorite. This is really, really awesome. It's so odd, but, you know, and I felt like, I do feel like the neck is a little skinny, but once you put on this head, I don't know, it kind of just falls away. Like, I just don't feel that anymore. Like, it's just good. It's creepy, it's evil, it's gross. It's not sad to me. Like, you know, the movie is sad. Like, that makes me go, oh, man. This doesn't make me feel that same thing. It makes me feel like this is a zombie Godzilla more than anything. Just because it's like an articulated figure and you can do different things with it. It hits differently than what it's representing. So, that's no fault of Super 7. There's just not much I feel like you could do with what they're trying to do, you know, and again, that's not a bad thing. It is a good thing. It allows for more playability and more possibilities for like photography and all that, so it's cool. I like it, is what I'm saying. It's different and it's excellent, and I think it's definitely a game changer for what, you know, Super 7 could do. And we've kind of felt that also with the SDCC Godzilla, right? The Dark Horse one. That was like a little bit different, and that kind of like helped perception a little bit about the line. I think this is gonna go even further than that because this is just so wicked and so cool. So there you go. I like it. It's awesome. Glad I finally got it to review, and there you have it. That's my review. Hope you dug it. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you're new to the channel, why don't you go ahead and sub yourself for daily content, and let me help you diversify your collection. Till next time, peace out, peeps.